Hey guys, Gray here, and now I'm doing a reaction on the Toyman figure, which you gotta love because weirdly enough, he actually looks like a toy. Like I know that Toyman is one of the bad guys, Legion of Doom and everything, but and he's one of Superman's villains. But there's a lot of upsides to Toyman, and sadly, I remember from the animated series, he really wasn't a bad guy deep down. He was just sad, pathetic, and kind of lonely. It didn't help that his father was falsely accused and sent to prison because he got money from a mobster and made a toy factory, which he dreamed of making for his son and to inherit later, which sadly Winslow Schott was Toyman's son, and he went crazy afterward, like physically. Like, can you imagine? He was dropped from foster home to foster home. It's actually rather sad, and sadly, a lot of people have used the title of Toyman, but he is one of the few I would consider the original. He's made weapons out of toys, both for profit and vengeance. And sadly, he really does try to kill Superman, but he also, in the original series, he did not care to kill Superman. He didn't want to. Not until Lois Lane it got involved and wrote an article that made him rethink about his life. He showed up in the DC Super Friends series. It was this actual TV series that's right behind him. It's one of the few TV shows I would say he shows up as in the Legion of Doom. There's been a lot of versions of him, one of which was a child molester. That one was kind of effed up. But sadly, Superman, well, not clone of Superman, dropped him from the sun, from above a building onto the pavement. It was horrifying. Can you imagine? I know he was a child molester, but Superman's clone literally just held him by the shirt and then just drops him in front of the cops and everybody. He doesn't even give it like 5 seconds of thought. He just drops the guy. Superman would never do that. I know Superman has done a lot of effed up stuff in the universe, especially in the Injustice series, but the only downside is that he does not move his body well. He's like a stick figure. He does it only a few things. And this isn't even the original Winslow Schott. The original did have this similar costume, but this is just a robot he put his mind into later on. At least that's what the figure says. And so he turned himself into the toy after years and years of fighting Superman took a toll on him. Downside of Superman, people, he does not age. Well, he does age, but super slow after he got to his adult years. Which is also kind of sad because, you know what that means? Both Jimmy, Lois, and Bruce, except for Diana, because Diana ages just as slow as Superman, maybe even slower, all die before him. Yeah, I can't imagine everyone in the world just dies of old age before you. And he's invulnerable to everything, so he can't kill himself either, so unless he eats kryptonite. I actually kind of always wondered what would happen if someone just tricked him into eating it. It's not like anyone. He hasn't been tricked. He's been tricked into inhaling it once. But what happens if it just goes through his digestive system? Like physically, like does it kill him from the inside too? Just like as though he was inhaling it. I'm pretty sure no one's gonna scan matzo ball soup when they're at a restaurant. I'm pretty sure if someone ever found out his secret identity, they could just do this at any time and no one would care. they just pay off a waiter to put, so they put something in his soup. And personally, Lex Luthor could probably pay someone off very well. He did it to a lot of people and then just killed him later because he didn't want anyone knowing that he was the one that did it. But I mean, come on, like Toyman, he made putty one time that literally could encase anything that moved. That takes a lot of energy, man. I give you props. Figuring out that chemical process has to take a lot of energy. I know it's not real. I know it's fake. I know it's comics. But just think about how much time and energy. He made a giant duck just to kill the guy that put his father in prison. A giant duck to destroy a boat. And I don't mean like a small dinghy. I mean a yacht. He built a duck bigger than anything in the universe that went underwater, came up, then literally attacked a whole boat. And then he also made knockout gas out of bubbles. Bubbles! Who in their right mind could think of that? Like, I mean, like, he's a genius. A physical genius. A villain, but a genius. But nonetheless, he's one of the few characters in the universe a lot of people could somewhat relate to if their lives were ruined as bad as his was. Dropped from foster home to foster home, not his fault. He was never given a second look. And then he has to fight Superman all the time. He can't even get... and the irony is, he's trying to kill Mannheim, a monster that Superman fights constantly. Like, I mean... and he's in charge of Intergang. I mean, come on. Like, this is not one of the few people that does... like, just let the bad guys kill each other on this one. In my opinion. I know that sounds bad, but just let him do it. You're going to lose a supervillain, and another one will probably just give himself up willingly to prison afterward. Because at least he has a conscience. He's crazy, but he has a conscience. Like, he won't do certain things unless he's provoked. I know that sounds weird, but that's just Toyman. So he's understandable. That's why Lex Luthor keeps around on the Legion of Doom. Because he understands the situation. Even though he's crazy. But he's a necessary crazy that understands the situation. Unlike the Joker, he actually gets what's going on. He can think of what he's doing. But I won't agree with some of his newer versions of himself. And at least this version makes more sense than the pervert kid guy. This guy, he doesn't care for... the original guy didn't care for that. He was just a villain to be a villain. And I love that they did it with puppet strings. Like, you'd actually attach it to an actual puppeteer. Which is actually pretty awesome. But yeah, I hope you guys like and subscribe. Have a nice day. But I would 100% recommend it if you do buy this. Because it looks just like it did in the TV show. Have a nice day. Bye.